To another video, it's me Cam from Cam's Call. Welcome back to another daily Chelsea transfer news video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about KOULIBlALY, SERGE, GNABRY and loads of other signings. So without further ado, if you're new here, I'm Cam, this is Cam's Call and I do daily Chelsea transfer news video. So without further ado, let's go on the first story. Now there's been a lot of talk recently about KOULIBlALY, so I'm going to start off with DiMarzio, who has said KOULIBlALY's agent met Chelsea yesterday. He is seen as an alternative option to De Ligt. Chelsea have a feeling that De Ligt will join Bayern Munich. And this is after Bayern Munich dropped an absolute huge lump of cash on Juventus, around 80 million euros, which again, I'm kind of happy Chelsea didn't, because although De Ligt is great, I think it's a big risk for 80 million euros, of course. And as of dropping a load of money, Barcelona look like they're going to sign Rafinha for about 70 million euros. So I'm pretty glad Chelsea dodged that bullet, kind of, because we dropped a 60 million euro bid and they were like, yeah, we'll take that, but the offer looks like it's going to be more. So about Rafinha, I'm going to be talking more about KOULIBlALY in the next story, which says KOULIBlALY is very close to signing for Chelsea. It would cost in the region of 40 million euros, with KOULIBlALY signing a 3-year contract. Now, what's good about this deal is not only is it half the price of De Ligt, but KOULIBlALY again is a lot more older. He's going into his prime. He's been in Napoli for a couple of years now. Of course, he's a massive centre back, and a centre back we kind of need, because we lost both Christensen and Raldo to La Liga. So of course we need a centre back. And talking of centre backs, I'm going to go to Matt Law, who have said Chelsea are expected to Nathan Ake. So that's what you need to know. We're expected to sign Nathan Ake. Sterling's going to come very soon. But talking about centre backs, of course we needed to replace, as I said before, Rudiger and Christensen. But I think we could be reverting to a back four if we don't make lots of centre back signings in a couple of weeks. But again, if we make these two signings, I think we could still stay with the back three with either Azpilicueta, Trevor Chalobah, or Levi Colwill, who is breaking into the first team in training in America as we speak. So that's all good. If these two centre-backs are signed, I think I'm going to be more optimistic about this window, because a couple of days ago I was thinking, yeah, it's going to be a bit shit. We need a centre-back, and we haven't got one as of yet. But I think the tides are beginning to turn. Chelsea hopefully can bring this deal very close, and it could be completed very soon. Fingers crossed. But moving on to the next story, which says, I'm going to be sticking with Matt Law, who's, works for the Telegraph, very good on Chelsea transfer news, who says SERGE GNABRY is a person of interest to Chelsea, who were talking to AC Milan about offloading Hakim Ziyech. So in an ideal world, Hakim Ziyech will go to AC Milan and SERGE GNABRY would come to Chelsea, because we know Bayern are in dire need of money, who, as I just said, dropped a load of money for De Ligt, so it could be a nice little transfer merry-go-round to happen. But the bad thing about this deal is that we had 60 million euros for a winger put aside, so all the teams in Europe who want to sell wingers and know we have 60 million euros to spend on a winger, so that could really hamper the bargaining over this deal. But of course, SERGE GNABRY, what a player. We've seen him dismantle all teams in North London, including Arsenal, which he used to play for. There's been lots of reports saying that himself, he said, oh no, I don't want to join Chelsea because of my ties to Arsenal, but I think that's a load of was, because although he hates Tottenham like us, he also scored a shit ton of goals against Arsenal. I don't think there's any love lost there. They kind of ruined him by loaning him to West Brom. They didn't love him. So hopefully he could come to Chelsea, be a little revenge story. But make of what you want to believe. He could not want to join Chelsea because of his ties to Arsenal, but I doubt that very much. Speaking of more deals, Thomas Tuchel was also interested in Rafael Leao. Tuchel wants a clinical and unpredictable wide player still. Gnabry and Leao are on the list, but Gnabry could be much more attainable as Leao. Then Leao, as AC Milan, will likely demand £100 million. So of course Leao, young MVP of Serie A last year, what a player. Really helped AC Milan to their title, but again, that price tag is a bit scary. 100 mil. We're fed up of spending 100 mil on Serie A strikers, which might not turn out to be any good. So watch your space. We need a winger, we need an attacker, as Tuchel said. So it could either be Leao or SERGE GNABRY. But the good thing is, we're forgetting about Rafinha. We're bidding him off, and hopefully we can sign more attacking players as well as the centre backs I've just talked about, which goes on to the last story from Miguel Delaney, who has said Chelsea and PSG have made moves to try and sign Robert Lewandowski as a planned switch to Barcelona's stalls. So, why are Barcelona always interested in every single deal under the sun, even though they're in millions of pounds of debt? I will never know, but Tuchel has pretty much said no to the Ronaldo deal. He said, it's not very, it's not, doesn't really go with the new ethos of the new owner. So Lewandowski, a clinical goal scorer as we know, 3 years younger than Ronaldo, so it could be a better option. Bit of a Higuain deal if you ask me. But that's all the news for today. Nice, short and snappy. I'll keep updated, subscribe, all that jazz for more, and I will see you tomorrow for more Chelsea transfer news videos. 500 subs soon. Thank you very much.